We work hard so you can get hard. That's a lot.
Woo! I'm sure that was consensual.
It was fucking Carl! Moving to kind of a disgusting topic is how many draft picks the Timberwolves gave to the Jazz. As a Timberwolves fan, what do you think about it?
Well, I love the big swing to bring in Rudy Gobert. This is the biggest news for a Timberwolves fan that we've really had. Maybe positively for the entire franchise. Like, I can't remember a bigger move. Like, Jimmy Butler was a big one, obviously. Then there was Kevin Garnett when he left the team. That was really big when I was a child. Otherwise, it's been a lot of years in the lottery, in the draft lottery. It's been a lot of years of not landing any free agents. Our biggest free agent signing, our largest free agent signing from a new guy to come to our team was Jeff Teague. 3 years, $60 million. That's the biggest signing in franchise history. So you have to get these types of players through trade if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they were able to get the best interior defender in the NBA. They gave up a lot to do it, but people do tend to overvalue draft picks in general. It was a lot of draft picks, but as a Timberwolves fan, I've seen a lot of draft picks not turn out to be shit for us. And they decided they would rather hold on to a guy like Jaden McDaniels, who's proven himself a little bit and looks like he can be the real deal in this league, rather than giving up a couple less picks. So I'm glad that they decided to keep a young guy, because I think they have a really solid core here that's worth building around.
No, yeah, definitely. On the bad side of it, yeah, a lot of picks. But the front office did what they could. They're like, listen, we're going to sign Cat down a long time. We have Gobert for a long time. It's going to be like 8 years by the time we're done giving them picks, but they still, the Seppi rule's still there. It's not like they go without draft picks. I think they're confident in enough. If they can win one title, this move suddenly, like a lot of people around the league, just fans, like I'm in my Magic groups, and all of them said, they're like, oh, well, Timberwolves top 4 team in the West. Like, just guys who they're Magic fans, and they say that. So it's a lot saying it, but I think it was a genius move. I know when we put our trades together, I went for Donovan Mitchell, but this is a great fit. I didn't think they would go away from. Anthony Davis won a title as a power forward. Maybe that's what Cat needs to do, is move to the power forward so he can really unlock his offensive potential. And it kind of covers up the Gobert issue. So Gobert, their huge issue we were just talking about with Clint Capella is that he's a lot better at guarding guards now. Like that he's learning and he's getting there, but now offensively he's just not there. He's just incapable of being there in the playoffs, and so people played small ball and took him off the floor. Now with Cat, you can't play small ball. It's so genius because if you move your center off the board and you're like, all right, we're gonna run centers, you're gonna have a small forward go out and guard Cat. A small forward's gonna guard a 6'10" guy. I'm like, he'll love that. He's a matchup hunter. He'll eat that up.
And if for some reason they did play small ball, they put Cat at the center position for that, and they slide McDaniels over at the 4 if Gobert does need to come off the floor for a little bit. But exactly. Regardless, it's gonna be hard to get through both of them and McDaniels.
And Chris Finch is definitely going to utilize Chris Finch and D'Lo are definitely going to utilize a big like Gobert more in their offense. But also, that's kind of the flexibility of getting Kyle Anderson, because he can play the 3 or 4 if you try to go small. But to stay, so Rudy Gobert, so the Wolves, you look at it, they were 25th in rebounding this league. Gobert alone was second in defensive rebounding this league. So all those frustrations you and I had when we watched it, where they just couldn't get a defensive rebound, it's there now. They got it.
It just shored up the problems with one move right there.
Yeah, and to add some more confidence into this trade, everyone's complaining about spacing. How are they going to do this? Jared Vanderbilt played 25 minutes a game, shot 14 threes throughout the entire series. Did not play out at all. He stayed in the paint. He stayed in the dunker's position and only made 2. So he was 2 for 14 the whole season. Played 25 minutes a game. Gobert, same deal. Granted, he's going to spend a little more time in the paint, but he only shot four threes, didn't make any of them. But it's really not that big of a difference from what the system they had. So, a little more confidence into that. I mean, like, I'm super excited to see what this team does. It's not that big of a change from the offensive scheme they already have.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Towns and Vanderbilt play together. They worked well together. And Gobert is just like what Vanderbilt is times 100. So, you do that, you go big or go home. And this is a franchise that needed to go big. They got a taste of the playoffs last year. This is a new ownership franchise, or owning this franchise now with Mark Lowry and Alex Rodriguez. And reportedly, Mark Lowry is very into analytics, and he bases that off a lot of the direction for the team. So when he brought in Tim Connolly, I fully expect that was because of his great scouting ability, his great way to find players, diamonds in the roughs, because of their their stats and what they had done at the college level and at the G League level. And he trusted him to make a big decision like that in bringing in Rudy Gobert. He wanted him to make this big splash, and I think like that was probably a prerequisite in the interview. It was like, hey, are you ready to make a big splash this offseason?
And he's like, yes, sir, I am. And he did it. Where do you so let's play that same game. Where do you think the Timberwolves are? Are they better than the Warriors?
No, I don't think we can say that necessarily yet.
Are they better than the Suns? With DeAndre Ayton. With DeAndre Ayton.
With DeAndre Ayton, no.
Okay. I'm assuming without, yeah.
Yeah, without, I think we would be. I think
depends on the return, I guess.
Yeah, I think they definitely could be better than the Suns, even with DeAndre Ayton next year. We'll just see what happens with them next season. They obviously had a great season this year, but they ended it with one of the worst blowouts. It was on pace to be the worst blowout in playoff history.
Yeah.
And I just don't know how you recover from that with the same guys in the locker room.
Right. Mavericks.
Better than the Mavericks.
Better than the Mavericks. Wow.
They don't have Jalen Brunson anymore.
I guess
I haven't seen a single replacement for that.
Okay.
And what are the Mavericks big men gonna do against Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns?
That's fair. All right. Fully healthy Clippers.
I think the Clippers probably be better, but
sure.
I mean, fully healthy is asking for a lot.
Yep. Jazz are gone now. They're done. They're not coming back. Lakers.
They're a play-in team, maybe.
Hypothetically, if Lakers have Kyrie, if the Lakers get Kyrie, who's better?
Yeah, I think we'll still be better than them. The Timberwolves will be better than the Lakers in that situation, but Lakers have a huge potential to be the championship winners in that scenario too. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Trailblazers.
Yeah. Better than the Trailblazers. I think the only other team that's
Nuggets.
A threat is the Nuggets, yeah. Because they're getting both Murray and Porter back, hopefully.
Yeah, I'd have the Timberwolves at 4 or 5 seed.
Yep.
Hopefully they can snag a 4 with if everyone stays healthy, and hope other team gets
3.
some. Yeah,
there's the Grizzlies too. Oh, fuck.
I do think they're better than the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies haven't done much.
They should have beat the Grizzlies in in the playoff series this last playoffs, and they feel that if they had Rudy Gobert in that playoff series, they would have won it.
Yeah. Richard Jefferson said something interesting. He said that the Wolves got 1 round better, which I agree with, because I'm not saying
a base, but you can always potentially do better than your expectations too.
So if he says 1 round better, I'm okay with them almost getting to the conference finals next year. If that's what he says, because they took first round 6 games.
6, yeah.
If they did that, that's really close. And like that, if that can shore it up, if they only get one round better, that's conference finals, and I'd be okay with it. I put them in
for like next season. I think that's a great step in the right direction. Another season in a row of being in the playoffs, getting to the second round, almost to the conference finals. I think, you just got to have the mentality now of finals or bust. But obviously, you're just bringing this team together, so you're not going to blow anything up after next year. But there is always a change to be made every season, and I guarantee that this season is really the D'Angelo Russell season. Do we find out whether they want to extend him or not?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. But also, speaking of the Grizzlies, if we want to diverge, what do you think of the turncoat? The turncoat himself, Slow-Mo, joining the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense for the Minnesota Timberwolves to bring in a guy like him. They had a problem staying stable in clutch situations in the playoffs, and this is a guy who's gonna, at least help keep things calm. And in transition, I think he's an effective player to have as well. So I think bringing him on board is really smart. Defensively, makes a lot of sense. Put him alongside Karl-Anthony Towns in some small ball situations, or next to Jaden McDaniels. I don't know what you end up doing, but I think like you've got a really good squad here with him.
Yeah, I mean, you could put him on every team, and he's going to be a valuable guy. He's an all-around guy. He can pass, he can defend, he can shoot. It's just slow at everything. No. But I think he was a perfect fit. I think him and Gobert alone this offseason was great. I'd like to see them go out and get a better backup point guard or get one in the trades. But because I like Jordan McLaughlin, I don't think he's a championship backup point guard. And I do think we're going to be leaning on guards a lot, especially depending upon how D'Angelo Russell's season goes. So,
yeah, I do feel the backup point guard position is one I'm a little afraid of with the Timberwolves right now. I have faith that Jalen Noel is going to step up into Malik Beasley's role effectively. Yep. So I don't have too many worries about that. But I wonder, who's taking Patrick Beverley's role?
Yeah.
I would have loved to keep him on the Wolves. Who can you get that can perform on like a similar trajectory? Can you trade for Derrick Rose?
That would be interesting. I don't think they have the maybe that's what Taurean Prince is there for. Maybe they're like, you know what, we're gonna throw him a contract because we're gonna figure out this. We're gonna get they want to stay flexible. Is why they offered him $8 million, so they could get Derrick Rose. Certainly in the cards. They still have that other first round pick they made too, so they could just be like, hey, take him, and we'll figure things out. And I'm sure the Knicks. We'll see how the Knicks do with Jalen Brunson. But like and subscribe. We like talking basketball. You guys like hearing about basketball. It's simple as that. That's it.